Tales of the Narrow Gauge, Episode 11. Not So Mighty Mac. Mighty Mac worked hard when he arrived on the Skarloey Railway. One day, he met Sir Handel at Skarloey Station at the top of the line. "It really was a blessing for you to arrive when you did," Sir Handel told Mighty Mac. "There was just too much work for us all with the loop line being opened." "Of course," said Mighty. "We can do the work of 2 engines." "Now don't boast," said Sir Handel. "There's no need for it. You're not that strong." "Oh yes we are," said Mighty. And then he and Max steamed away. But one day they arrived late at the station with a passenger train. The thin controller was waiting. "Why are you both so late?" he asked. "It's all Mighty's fault, sir," said Mac. "He insists on dawdling about at stations. I'd work much better if I weren't attached to him 24/7. This made Mighty very cross. He began to think of a way that he could pay Mac out. When Mighty Mac arrived at the station the next day, there was a huge line of trucks that he would have to take. "Excellent," muttered Mighty to himself. Then he buffered up to the trucks. The train was heavy, but with both Mighty and Mac pulling, they puffed out of the station. The track steadily began to climb, and Mighty began to shut off steam. "What's going on, Mighty?" asked Mac. "I can't do this." And he was right. All of a sudden there was a loud crack and the train started to run backwards. The train rolled right back down to the bottom of the hill. Luckily, no one was hurt, and all of the trucks stayed on the rails. "What happened?" asked Mac in a hurt-sounding voice. "The train got heavier all of a sudden." "I stopped pulling," said Mighty unsympathetically. "You said you didn't need me. I bet you realise you do now." Then the driver got out. He heard what Mighty had said. "You stupid engine," he shouted. "Now Mac's blown a safety valve because of you. We're stranded." "Not quite," replied Mighty loftily. "I could still pull all these trucks. Granted, not all at once, but if we split the train up, I think I'd have a fighting chance." So that's what they did. The flatbed was uncoupled from the gunpowder wagons. Then Mighty steamed away. It was much easier with only half the train. Eventually Mighty Mac arrived at Crosney Kern with half the train. Then he returned to the bottom of the hill and collected the gunpowder wagons, coal trucks and brake van. All the trucks were reunited at Crosney Kern. Mighty needed a rest and so pulled onto the sidings. Then Sir Handel arrived. He stopped at the station. "Goodness," he said, "I've never seen so many trucks." The driver and fireman were checking Mac over. "Oh," said Sir Handel, "what's happened?" "Mac burst a safety valve," said the station master, "so Mighty had to pull the trucks by himself." He didn't mention that he did it in 2 halves. Sir Handel was in awe. "You pulled all these trucks by yourself, Mighty? Now I know what you said is true. You must not only be the strongest engine on the line, I bet you're the strongest engine on all of Sodor. I'd say that you'd rival some of those mainline engines." And then he pulled away. That evening, Mighty Mac rested at Crosney Kern while they waited for the new part to arrive. "I'm sorry that I said I didn't need you," said Mac. "We need to work together, don't we?" "I'm sorry too," said Mighty. "My trick was stupid, and I'm sorry that I did it." Then the engine went happily to sleep.